I guess I was too relaxed to lose. It cost me.
Fearless would be the right word to describe Greek professional tennis player Stefanos Tsitsipas. Ranked as world number 3 on the ATP rankings as of 2021, the sensational tennis player carries himself with so much confidence and charisma on and off the court. His remarkable skill and talent on the court made him the highest-ranked Greek player in the history of tennis, alongside Maria Sakkari as of 2021. Born in 1998 in Athens, Greece, Stefanos Tsitsipas is the proud recipient of 9 ATP singles titles and reached the world number 64 spot on the doubles rankings in 2022, the highest so far in his career. In addition to his exceptional tennis playing abilities, the Greek tennis player is well known for his famous antics on the court and has been at the center of one too many controversies. So join us today as we uncover what really happened to Stefanos Tsitsipas.
It's not always easy to keep your cool, but at the same time you have to have that human side.
While some professional tennis athletes fall in love with the sport from watching their role models, others like Stefanos Tsitsipas were born into families where playing and excelling at tennis was the norm. His mother, Julia Apostoli, was a professional tennis player on the WTA tour, while his father, Apostolos Tsitsipas, was trained as a tennis coach and doubles as a father and coach to the star player. Stefanos Tsitsipas picked up his first racket at a very young age, learning to hit balls with his dad. He was also introduced to other sports as a kid, but made the decision to become a tennis player after a tournament in France, 6 years after he first hit a tennis ball. Apostolos Tsitsipas, his father, said the star player chose the sport for its intense competitiveness and challenge. Stefanos Tsitsipas then began taking tennis lessons at the tennis club Glyfada before joining the Patrick Mouratoglou Academy in France in 2015. In 2013, the Greek tennis player began playing on the International Tennis Federation junior circuit, and in 2015 he played all 4 Grand Slam events, reaching the quarterfinals at the Australian Open tournament. By the end of the season, Stefanos Tsitsipas was ranked as world number 14 in juniors. He then became the highest-ranked junior in the world after winning his first Grade A title at the Trofeo Boflingio in 2016, and his first male Greek to win a junior Grand Slam tournament in the Open era after winning his first doubles title at the season at Wimbledon, a win he secured with his partner Kenneth Reisma. By the end of 2016, Stefanos Tsitsipas had won a total of 11 futures titles and capped it all ranked as world number 2 in juniors. 2017 saw the young Greek tennis player reaching his first ATP semi-finals, becoming the first Greek player to be ranked in the top 100 on the ATP rankings, defeating the then world number 10 and everyone's favorite David Goffin. For a young player, Stefanos Tsitsipas showed so much promise whenever he played, displaying his prowess with the racket and his ability to hit balls with finesse. An aggressive player on the court, he defeated second seed and world number 14 Fabio Fognini in the semi-finals of the 2018 Stockholm Open, going on to win his first ATP title at the end of the tournament, the first Greek player to ever do so. With so much promise and talent to offer, Stefanos Tsitsipas' presence on the court may give way to the growing popularity of tennis in his homeland, Greece, causing more people to become interested in the sport, and in 2019, he was declared Greek Male Athlete of the Year. Tennis is one of the most watched sports in the world, and it gives its players a form of celebrity status. But sometimes these players are in the spotlight for quite controversial reasons. Greek professional tennis player Stefanos Tsitsipas has been in the spotlight one too many times for different reasons, one of which is his reported penchant for extended bathroom breaks. The controversial bathroom breaks first became a thing in 2018 at the Miami Open, when he played against Russian professional tennis player Daniil Medvedev for the first time. The two players had just finished shaking hands at the court when Medvedev, in response to a hostile comment from Stefanos Tsitsipas, yelled at him to keep shut, complaining that the Greek had taken a bathroom break for all of 5 minutes after he encountered problems on the court. He argued that Stefanos Tsitsipas had no etiquette and offered no apology after hitting the net cord at some point during the match. Stefanos, in response, had commented that the aura after the match was quite hostile, and though he had responded in anger to Daniil Medvedev, he did regret what he'd said. Although this was to be the start of a long-standing rivalry between the two talented players, it was also the beginning of Stefanos' long history of bathroom breaks. Naturally, other opponents didn't take this new development well, and in 2021 at the US Open, British professional tennis athlete Andy Murray accused him of using the extended bathroom break as an avenue for illegal on-court coaching. This was after the Greek player had taken an 8-minute bathroom break right after the opening round match, causing his opponent to become quite rattled. During the course of the game, there was also moments when Stefano had taken breaks to call his trainer and change his racket, reasons which the British player felt were not enough to cause such disruptions. The game ended up in favour of Tsitsipas, stirring up more speculations around his choice of bathroom timing. During interviews post-match, Murray stated that the incident caused him to lose respect for the Greek, saying, "I think it's nonsense, and he knows it as well." The British player was also supported by German tennis athlete Alexander Zverev, who had also experienced the same with the Greek at the Cincinnati Open. This time around, Stefanos took his bag and phone along with him, leading to further accusations of him using the break as an opportunity to cheat. "It's not normal, it's happening at every match," the German player said when asked his opinion on the matter. "It happened to me in the French Open, to Novak at the finals at the French Open. You know, I think in Hamburg against Kranjonovic, he has been complaining. Against me in Cincinnati, it was ridiculous, and now here again. I think players are catching up to that." Quite interesting also to note is that in most of these controversial matches, Tsitsipas emerged the winner. Stefanos, however, in a post-match press conference insisted that the accusations were baseless, stating that people didn't know what was going on. When people are not really in the sport and don't know what is happening, I mean, all these accusations have been completely false. The one in my match in Cincinnati, which was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, yeah, that was, I don't know what to say, he added. The repeated accusations and incidents caused the Association of Tennis Professionals to introduce a new rule stating that players were only allowed to be getting a maximum of 1 3-minute toilet break per match, and the breaks were only permitted at the end of a set. Players were, however, also afforded a separate 2-minute break in case of a change of clothing. Besides his recurrent bathroom controversies, the Greek professional tennis player has also had instances of arguments with his opponent. He is particularly known for the drama that tends to surround him whenever he steps onto the court. In 2022 at the Australian Open, he was fined alongside his Russian opponent Daniil Medvedev a total sum of 17,000 Australian dollars. Medvedev was fined 12,000 for yelling at the umpire in frustration while trying to call out his opponent, and his father, Apostolos Tsitsipas, who doubled as his coach, for coaching him during the game. At first, his accusations were ignored, before Stefanos and his father were caught in the 4th set of the match. Tsitsipas was consequently fined 5,000 Australian dollars for illegal on-court coaching. That same year at Wimbledon, Tsitsipas was fined 8,250 euros for hitting the ball in anger and playing it into the unsuspecting crowd at the end of the 2nd set. The ball narrowly missed a spectator, and the action was termed unsportsmanlike, for which he was heavily fined. His opponent, Nick Kyrgios, however, argued that it did hit a fan, and was of the opinion that he should have been disqualified instead. Kyrgios did not keep his opinion to himself and repeatedly said to the umpire that his opponent needed to be disqualified for his actions, going as far as asking him to see the Grand Slam supervisor. Stefanos, in reaction to Kyrgios' insistence on him being punished, called him a bully, stating that he didn't like bullies. "I don't like people that put other people down. He has some good traits in his character as well, but he also has a very evil side to him, which, if it's exposed, it can do a real lot of harm and bad to the people around him," Stefanos added. Injuries are one of the surest things to happen in any active sport, especially ones like tennis. Not too long ago this year, the Greek athlete Stefanos Tsitsipas announced that he was pulling out of the 2023 Abierto Mexicano de Tenis in Acapulco due to an injury he sustained to his shoulder after the Australian Open. The professional athlete expressed disappointment at having to withdraw from one of his most favourite events, but chose to focus on the positives, promising to come back stronger than ever.